Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I want to show you two incredible compositions by Paul Banco, and the goal is to checkmate the opponent in 3 moves. So both of these are so unique that I just had to share them, and I had some fun trying to figure them out as well. So this is the first one. It's white to move here, and the goal is to checkmate in exactly 3 moves. There are a bunch of other checkmates, but there's only one checkmate in 3. So the first thing I should say is when I saw this position, if you promote this pawn to a queen, that's stalemate because this queen is cutting the diagonal and also cutting this e-file, and the king, of course, is holding these two. So that doesn't work. And then you think, okay, maybe I underpromote to a rook or something. Maybe that'll do it. Well, not exactly, because the king can now just run away, and I can't cover this diagonal with a rook. That's not really how rooks work. So that doesn't really work. And then I thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't promote this pawn. Maybe I should try to see if there's a way I can prevent this square from being the next move for black. And I thought, well, there is another way to promote this pawn, and that would be a bishop, because a knight, really fast, a knight wouldn't do anything, because same idea. They go here, and they escape. Okay, so let's just say I promote to a bishop. What happens then? Well, now this is now cut off. This is no longer an option for black. So they only have a couple of decent moves. And when I say that, I mean they have one legal move. So king e6, right? All these other squares were covered. So that was my attempt at a joke. So that's not really working out. They have only one move. And I thought in this position, oh, just promote to a knight. Maybe that's mate. And it's not mate. They can take this pawn. What if I promote to a queen? Well, if you promote to a queen, stop doing that. It's stalemate. Stop promoting to queens automatically in puzzles. You got to be a bit more conscientious of the fact that sometimes these positions are made to trick you. So that's stalemate. Okay, well, what if I promote to a rook? Does that do anything? Well, yeah, it does. You can now go back here, but this is not going to be mate in 3. Right? What's my checkmate here? I can maybe think about something like, I don't know, rook c7. Maybe the idea of going here. Does that work? Yeah, maybe something like that. That's going to be mate. That's mate in 4, not mate in 3. Good idea, though. So you say, okay, what if I take their square away and I instead promote to a bishop? And this is where it just gets so cool. This move forces the king only to one square. These bishops are cutting across. My king is blocking these. So where does that force the king? f6. After you take f6, look at this checkmate. Rook h6 is mate. The rook is providing this nice checkmate with the bishop's coordination. I love the aesthetics of this. I just feel like it's kind of uncommon to see a checkmate with nothing around the king. The king is completely empty around it. I thought that's pretty cool. So there are 2 consecutive under promotions to a bishop. And what else do you think about in this position? Maybe you thought something like rook here to swing around, maybe promote. Yeah, it doesn't really work. It's not going to be checkmate in 3. The king always has this escape route. And if you want to try to push this one, they can just take it. That's a terrible arrow. You want to push this one, they can just take it. Instead of drawing the arrow, I'll move the piece. And it just doesn't really work. So the answer to the first puzzle is just promote to a bishop. And how often do you see 2 consecutive under promotions to a bishop? I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. And then after this, look at this move. Killer. Okay, that's one puzzle. Let me move on to the second puzzle. Now take a snapshot of this in your head and watch what happens. The pawn is going to move from here to here. So right now, the b7 pawn was originally on e7, now it's on b7. Everything else is the same. So how is this puzzle different? What's crazy about this is it looks like the same position, but it leads to a different result. It's still mate in 3, and it's so cool the way that this was composed. I don't know if it's just me. I just find this to be so cool. Okay, so again, I try to think about, what if I solve this on my own? So I see I have 2 promotions, right? I can promote to a queen on either of these. That would be check. So let's just try one out. promote to a queen. What do? Well, just like before, they have this c6 square to run to, and I'm not going to be checkmating them anytime soon. If I want to go here, thinking I can cut the square off, that's true, I am cutting the square off, but they just take on b6, and now what, right? It's not going to be mate in 3 from that initial position. So you think, okay, maybe there's another way where I can block this square. Well, same idea. If I do this, promote to a queen, they run away. And the same idea. Go here, here. And this is not mate. Importantly, not mate. I have one more move, right? And this will be mate now, but that's not mate in 3. It takes a lot of precision to find the most optimal way to win. Okay, well, it seems like the crux of the problem is this c6 square. So, you might see where this is going. Do you see a way to protect this c6 square in one move? And this is where under promotion is just so cool. Under promotion is intentionally getting a less powerful piece, but it's one that's good for the job. And in this case, this knight covers c6. So now they can't run away. So what do they have left? Just like before, all of their options are really just one option. All of these are covered, and they have just e6. So now what's the move? How am I checkmating in 2 moves from here? Again, this is so cool. So right now, the king can either, on the next turn, the king can take this, or they can go here. Okay, well here is the superstar move. Pawn promotes to another knight, and now the king has 2 choices, d6 or f6. If they go to f6, knight b to d7 is checkmate. Look at the way these knights are coordinating. This rook is cutting across, this queen is taking away this pawn is a superstar, look at that. And these knights just coordinate so well to block everything off. And of course, this knight's the one giving check. Crazy. But here is just the aesthetic mate. I just loved it. So after the king goes here and you promote to a knight, if the knight check moves the king back to d6, do you see the checkmate? Look at this. Rook d7. Look at the aesthetics of this position. You have the knight, both of them are protecting this rook, but more importantly, they're both protecting these out squares. And these pawns, let me use blue, are coordinating to protect these, and this rook is just right in the middle. And of course, my king protecting everything here. Look at the aesthetics of this position. Just the symmetry alone, that's a terrible arrow, just the symmetry alone is just lovely. So, like that, I love the way that looks. And this one protects these ones. Look at that. So, let's draw some red arrows. Look at that. Okay. That is a crazy mate in 3. So, both puzzles, they look so similar. They both involve a very similar theme. Under promote to a knight, force him away. Under promote to another knight. When do you see that? These are the same person made both of these puzzles. Aren't these just genius puzzles? I wish I had the mind to make these. I would just love that. And then after this move, look at that lovely mate. Okay, I just enjoy these puzzles, and hopefully you did as well. If you found them, amazing job. Amazing job finding the answers there. They are not easy. If you can find 2 consecutive under promotions, good job there. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. I put new videos out all the time, and my goal is to help charity. And last month, we gave $90 to UNICEF, and the goal is just to help spread the love, really. So a free donation, right, or free subscription rather, helps me with a donation. So it helps out a lot. But that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.